Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. So if you didn't see last night, I uploaded my review of the new Bot Royale update, which is basically like a battle royale slash post-apocalyptic slash I don't know update. it's a bit of a confusing one. It is a bit all over the place. Also, if you go look on the wiki, you can see what we're going to be getting for Valentine's Day. I'm not going to reveal it here because I don't want to spoil it really, but they reveal what we will be getting for Valentine's Day. I'm still going to do a video very soon. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I think, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow probably, where I'm going to be going through what I personally want for Valentine's Day, and then I'll also be showing you what we're going to be getting for Valentine's Day. So it'll be like a spoiler slash ideas video. It basically will be a rehash of last year's video again. I do apologize, but it's like an idea I really want them to do. Actually, I might rework it because I think I had the whole Mary Sprookler thing in there, and obviously I can't have that there now, so I might rework it. But yeah, something like that anyway. But anyway, moving on. Today we'll be doing my events ranked from worst to best. So this is in this video I'm only gonna be doing major events. So basically any event that got its own splash screen apart from Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving randomly got its own splash screen when it was a mini event. But every event that got its own splash screen basically. So it includes 6 events basically, so it's basically like a top 6 if you really want, or a top 5, or a top 5 with an honourable mention if you really want to be funny about it. But yeah, this is ranked. It was just way easier to do it ranked. There was no point throwing the mini events in there with them. I will be doing a separate video talking about the mini events because there is also 6 mini events that we got in 2017, so I will also be ranking them from worst to best. But anyway, getting on to this video. So the worst one at number 6, so the worst event, and in my opinion, is actually Halloween. So I've put Halloween. Now, the reason I've put Halloween is it's not like a terrible update, and honestly, I think most of 2017's updates were actually not too bad. None of them were awful. They're just with Halloween, I just think it was very mediocre. Now, first of all, it gave us a lot of these kind of these new type of non-playable characters, which I just didn't like Kernymon and Bullyvern and Lude. Like, I didn't like them. The characters we did get, like Lord Montimore and Slivers and characters like that, really could have been costumes and not their own characters. And we did get 2 cool characters like Count Dankula. That's a YouTuber. Count Dracula, the evil shopkeeper, and yeah, ones like that, and Lord and the Unicorn Wizard, I guess. So there's some cool, and Angelica Button, of course, was a cool one. Yeah, but apart from that was really it. We got some pretty crappy costumes, like Wizard Lisa and Wizard Bart, which they were free, I guess, so they can't complain too much about them, but they're not particularly great. Squeaky Voice Peasant was the whole thing. That whole fiasco was annoying and kind of ruined it. And all the buildings I thought were very bad. I didn't really like any of the buildings, apart from the Magic Palace, maybe, and the Great Raymunder's house was a pretty cool building, but apart from that, most of the buildings I wasn't a massive fan of either. And I just generally, I'm glad that they had a theme, and I think the theme did work. I just didn't like the theme. I think the whole magic theme for me, I wasn't really interested in it. Didn't really scream anything to me. I didn't like what they did with the whole non-playable characters, and overall I just felt it was a bit kind of flat, and it's a shame because it was, in terms of structure, it was actually a really good event, but in terms of content, I just wasn't really sold. So that's why the Halloween is the worst. So, number 5. Number 5, I have put the Time Traveling Toaster event. So, basically, the Time Traveling Toaster event was, it was an event based on kind of time traveling thing, and we had 3 acts. The 3 acts were, of course, like the prehistoric world, prehistoric world, like dinosaurs and all that. The pirate act, and there was also the what was the other act? The Egyptian act with all the Egyptian stuff. So we got some characters. Now, the reason I kind of like this event is, although it added a lot of non-playable characters, I liked most of the non-playable characters. I think they were kind of cool. Like the Giant Screamer Pillar, the Raptor, the Homer Lizard, the Wisecracking Parrot, the Darwin Fish. I actually like all those non-playables. I think they're all really cool. Added some coolish characters like Blackbeard. He was pretty cool. The Sexy Pirate was a very mediocre character. And then, like, things like Mozart and Hollis Hulbert. Like Hollis Hulbert is okay, I guess, but he wasn't. He was a pretty bland character, to be honest. Like Mozart really should have been a costume. Caveman Mo really should have been a costume. So there's things like that which again kind of annoyed me. Skins, I actually liked all the skins, like Taskmaker Willie, Pharaoh Skinner, and Cave Girl Booberella. They were all pretty cool skins. Nothing to complain too much about. The buildings weren't too bad. There was just a lack of buildings. Like there really wasn't that many buildings and a lot of decorations. There was like tons of decorations though, to be fair. Like there's a huge list of it. Like the prehistoric jungle, the pharaoh thing, the pharaoh tent, the camel, the triceratops statue, the dinosaur skeleton. Like so many decorations. And I think really they should have balanced it a little bit more with buildings and decorations, and it would have been a little bit better. Like that's one complaint I had. Like I like the theme. I just think there wasn't really much to this event that they really could have added, and I think it was a bit all over the place. I was kind of hoping that this would have been a way for them to do like a not an entire thing of sci-fi, but like an act with the sci-fi stuff, but they didn't, obviously, but that's okay. I'm still going to bat on about sci-fi too until they do it. But yeah, like in terms of characters, like it was really kind of didn't have that many interesting playable characters. Didn't have that many interesting buildings, and really not that many buildings. Like there were some buildings are pretty cool there, I guess, but and just too many decorations. The theme was okay, I guess, but yeah, that's why that is there. I really need to speed this video along. Anyway, number four is the secret agents. So the secret agents. So basically, this was obviously all based around secrets and agents. No, it was all based around. Basically, this was kind of like a movie event, because it did take a lot of stuff from the Simpsons movie, but it also kind of took stuff from the Hank Scorpio episode and a few other episodes as well, with the whole kind of agent-y theme. So of course we got like Agent Bond, we got Wayne Slater, we got the Ghost Enforcer, we got the Yakuza boss, we got Femme Fatale, we got Benjamin, Doug and Gary, Russ Cargill, so some really, really cool characters. We got Cameraman Hat Homer, Mastermind Hank Scorpio, and loads of cool buildings. Now, the reason that this definitely deserves to be on the list is the buildings were really, really cool in this. Lots of cool buildings. That's probably my biggest thing about this event. They kind of like had like the cafe, like the Stoner's Pop Palace, and the Cafe Kafka, and the Not What It Seems, and the Painless Dentistry, and the You Only Own Twice, like all the pawn shop and the dry cleaners and all that. It added all these buildings, but it kind of like gave this whole like, oh well, they're actually spying on you kind of thing. And I think it really worked how they did it, because it just like allowed them to introduce a bunch of kind of like miscellaneous buildings that were going to be hard for them to add in, and I think it really did work, and I really enjoyed what they did. The whole EPA stuff was really cool as well. I liked all of it, really. The characters I think were pretty good, like pretty solid characters. I'm glad that they added the nerds in finally. So honestly, like this event was pretty good. So but I just, again, it comes down to I prefer the other events to it. So anyway, let's move on. So number three goes to the Invasion Before Christmas. So I think this is going to be something where people will disagree with me, because I feel like some people will put the Invasion Before Christmas below the Time Traveling Toaster and Secret Agents. I think everyone should put it above Halloween. I think so anyway, but I can understand why people will put this, put Secret Agents above Invasion Before Christmas, and I was nearly about to do it, but I don't know. There's something about the Invasion Before Christmas that I really enjoyed, and it's weird because I was kind of very skeptical on it, because I was scared that this was going to be like another kind of really kind of half-arsed Christmas thing, but it really did. It really was a good Christmas-themed update. I like how they added Kang and Kodos. I like the Kang and Kodos costumes personally. I like how they kind of led the event. It was something new, and it was something weird, but it worked. I think it really did work. And the whole thing with us trying to get Santa Claus, I love that whole concept, and the fact that Santa Claus is basically our final prize. Perfect. The worker elves were characters I wasn't particularly happy with, but they're there. Buddha, really cool character. Jack Frost, I didn't really like Jack Frost, but besides the point, Shiva, really, really cool. J. Radiant Christ is mediocre, but Jesus Christ was an awesome character to get as a Guild Steal. Definitely a well worth it Guild Steal. Some pretty cool costumes as well. Christmas Tree Ralph, I think, was probably my favourite costume in that event. Definitely was really funny to see, and but actually maybe even Santa Kang, because I kind of liked how Santa Kang led the event. The only thing I guess I could kind of complain of is buildings. The buildings aren't that great in this event, but there again, buildings aren't really great as a whole as of lately anyway. But the Heavenly Swing Set was a really cool building. The Peek Inn was another one. Krusty's Christmas on Ice was another cool building. Definitely some really nice buildings that they added in there. So yeah, the invasion for Christmas, and I just think the theme and the storyline was just really worked really well in my opinion. And although there were only 2 acts, if there was a third act, it might be a bit higher on this list, but it gets number 3 for sure. So anyway, number two goes to Homapalooza, or the music event, if you want to call it that. So, yeah, I give it to Homapalooza. I think you all know what number 1 is, and I think you all knew coming into this video what number 1 was going to be, but let's talk about Homapalooza real quick. So, we got Weird Al Yankovic, who was basically the leader of the event. Of course, he was a celebrity cameo, so that is kind of cool. They added the Nick Delacour and all that, so all the Sungazer band, Alaska Nebraska, LT Smash, Leon, the Michael Jackson Leon, Alcatraz, who's some rapper, Bleeding Gums Murphy, who's an awesome character to add, and Rachel Jordan, which is another kind of cool character to throw in there. We got some the costumes were pretty cool. Rapping Bart, Manager Cletus, and Rockin' Otto were pretty cool costumes. The Rock Stage, the Quickie merch, the Jazzy Good Times, the Snub Club, the Quitters, Gold Records on Wall Studio, Classified Records. All the buildings I thought were really good. The Jazz Hole was definitely my favorite building. I love the Jazz Hole. Really cool, nice building. Just a simple building, but very rememberable. You get that kind of nostalgia from it. Yeah, and I think overall this event was just very sound. Like it didn't really have many flaws in my opinion. I love the fact that they had the Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and how they had it in rap. Was it rap, pop, and rock? Was it rock? Yeah, I think it was rock. Rap, pop and rock, I think. But yeah, that was really cool. I liked how they did that, how they separated it. The animations were really good in it, where you could send people to the thing and to the stages, and there'd be animation. They'd do the certain animations. The crafting stuff was really good. I liked all the decorations. They all fitted this kind of event really well, but also were nice things to actually have finally in the game. They, of course, added the whole Praise Land stuff in there as well. Like, I just think this event was very well done. A little bit, I feel like I should have given it a lot more praise than I gave it, because looking back, it was actually a really solid event, and comparing it to the year, it definitely deserves the second best. I think the splash screen alone sold me, to be fair. Like, look at the splash screen. It's just so creative, so cool, so awesome. But yeah. So yeah, let's do that drum roll anyway, but we know what number 1's going to be, but let's do it anyway. So, of course, number 1 goes to Destination Springfield. So, yeah. So, this is it was a really awesome event to finally get into to get in the game. Obviously, it was a thing that really kicked off 2017 with a bang. Like, I think this, and I said it possibly in my other video, in my last video, I think, where it's possible that Destination Springfield was the reason 2017 was good, because it just started the year off on such a positive note. And I think this event, whilst I would said that Homapalooza is a sound event and is very solid and doesn't have any flaws, I think this is a little bit better than that. I think it is it's preceding what I think, like, you know, like, an okay is what I want. I want an event that's at least okay. But, and Homapalooza was sound. It was almost perfect. But this is, like, beyond perfect, if you want. Well, not beyond perfect, but, like, it's just a little bit better than, quite a lot better than Homapalooza. I don't know. It's something about it. The France act, the Japan act, and, of course, the Brazil act were just awesome. The fact that Norbert Van Houten led the event, of course, that was so cool as well. I think he was such a good, solid lead. And I think he's a character that a lot of people probably forgot about now, but you should really remember Norbert Van Houten, because I think, one, he's a cool character anyway, because of the whole Indiana Jones parody, but 2, he led this event. Like, you got to give him credit for that. And I think the way they introduced his character to me just makes me love his character so much more. There was the tourists as well that I wasn't a big fan on, but who cares. The Springfield Airport was an awesome building. The way that you can build that is just so cool. The Tourist Information Center and the Reward Center are just mess, but there you go. The Eiffel Tower, the Paris Hotel, the Chateau Marchand, the Krusty Burger, the Bara, the Samba School, the Tree Steakhouse, the Filthy Angels Orphanage, the Rio de Janeiro, the Chocolate Chapel. That was kind of Valentine's Day though, so I won't really include that. And yeah, just all the decorations as well. I just think this was a really solid event. The characters they added really worked. I really liked the fact that we had like Tiago and Ronaldo and the Brazil and the Vicious Monkeys. I wasn't a massive fan of. Mr. Sparkle was a really cool character to get, and Oscar Seafood Concern Squid. Ugly Orn and Caesar and Maurice and all that. And you think about it in terms of characters, this didn't really add that many memorable people. To be honest, Norbert Van Houten was probably the most important character they added, but or maybe Mr. Sparkle, I guess. But to be honest, it doesn't really matter. The fact that the structure was so great of this event, the way that you did things. The one thing I think was a bit weird was the whole Oscar flu thing. I don't really get what the hell that was about. But apart from that, I think this event was beyond perfect. It was, you know, it kind of exceeded my expectations, and it was a really, really solid event, and I really, really enjoyed it, and definitely deserves number one. And I think Destination Springfield blew everything in 2016 out of the water, blew some things in 2015 out of the water probably as well, if I really go back and look at it. Maybe not everything. There probably is an event in 2015, probably the winter event. I'd say it was better than Destination Springfield, but apart from that, I think that this was one of the best Tab Tab events we've ever got, and definitely deserves to be on this list. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts on what you think the ranked worst to best events are. That's all the events, so you just rank them in your order. And yeah, I'll see you next video. Goodbye.